Have you ever felt that nagging sensation that there's more to life than what you see right in front of you? That feeling that the physical world, with its daily routines and predictable patterns, is just the surface of a much deeper, more vibrant reality? Maybe you've had a vivid, unexplainable dream that felt more real than your waking life, leaving you with a lingering sense of wonder, or perhaps a touch of confusion. You wake up, and for a moment you can't quite shake the feeling that you were just somewhere else, experiencing something truly profound, but you can't put your finger on what it was. This is the very impulse that has driven mystics, shamans, and spiritual seekers for millennia. The desire to look beyond the veil, to touch the unseen, and to understand the inner workings of our own consciousness. It's a journey we all feel called to, at one time or another, whether we are consciously aware of it or not. In this space on this podcast, we are going to dive into the two most common ways we consciously undertake this journey: lucid dreaming and astral travel. These are often talked about interchangeably as if they are one and the same, but I want to guide you through the actual critical differences. Think of it less as a lecture and more as a gentle walk through a beautiful, unexplored landscape. We'll start with the familiar, the dream state, and slowly move into the more expansive, profound territory of the astral plane. It's all about understanding that the path outward to the cosmos, to other dimensions, is actually a path inward to the truth of who you are. This isn't just about learning new concepts. It's about giving you a map so you can start to navigate your own consciousness with confidence and curiosity. The ultimate goal isn't to escape this world, but to bring the wisdom of those other worlds back with you to live more fully here. Your main, actionable insight for this section is to recognize that the sense of longing for something more is not a flaw. It is your soul's compass. It's a natural, healthy sign that your consciousness is ready to expand. Don't suppress that feeling or dismiss it as simple daydreaming. Instead, start to see it as a call to adventure. You can begin this process by simply acknowledging that feeling when it arises. When you find yourself gazing out the window, lost in thought, or when a deep question about existence surfaces in your mind, don't push it away. Instead, simply say to yourself, "This is my inner self reaching out." You'll find that just giving this feeling space to exist will open up new pathways of thought and intuition. A real-world example of this is the experience of someone who finds themselves repeatedly drawn to books or podcasts on spirituality or consciousness, even if they don't fully understand the topics. It's like an energetic pull, a whisper from the universe saying, "This is for you." It might feel a bit random at first, but with a little reflection you realize it's a pattern, a consistent thread in your life. This is your intuition guiding you. You may not yet know where you are going or what you are seeking, but that pull, that repeated interest, is the beginning of the journey. Trust it. So I want you to sit with this question. What is one thing in your life that you feel a consistent, unexplainable pull toward? Book a type of music, a quiet walk in nature that makes you feel a little more connected to something bigger. Building on that sense of inner knowing, let's turn our attention to the dream state itself. You see, before we can even begin to talk about the differences between lucid dreaming and astral travel, we have to acknowledge the shared ground they both spring from: the nightly dream state. You can think of your regular non-lucid dreams as the raw, unfiltered canvas of your subconscious mind. They are a nightly pilgrimage to a world where the rules of logic, time, and space are completely suspended. In this state, your consciousness isn't turned off at all. It's simply operating in a different mode, processing emotions, memories, and insights in a symbolic language you don't always understand upon waking. The dream state is a natural, intuitive space for consciousness to move freely. It's where you are already accustomed to your awareness being detached from the strictures of your physical body. For most of us, this is the only time we allow ourselves to be fully released from the demands of the ego and the analytical mind. In a dream, you don't question how you're flying or why your childhood home looks like a castle. You simply accept it and move through the experience. This acceptance, this fluidity, is the crucial foundation we need to build upon. It shows you that your consciousness is not bound by your physical form. The dream state proves, every single night, that you can be somewhere else, experiencing something else, without ever leaving your bed. Your main actionable insight here is to start viewing your dreams not as random, meaningless events, but as nightly training sessions for your consciousness. By simply paying more attention to them, you begin to strengthen the bridge between your waking mind and your deeper subconscious. The key is to start a simple dream journal. It doesn't need to be elaborate. Just keep a notepad or your phone by your bed. The moment you wake up, even if it's in the middle of the night, write down whatever fragment you can remember. Don't censor yourself or try to make sense of it. Just record the feelings, the images, the actions. This simple practice tells your brain, this information is important, and it will start to retain more and more of it over time. A relatable scenario is that moment you wake from a powerful dream and it evaporates from your memory within seconds. leaving you with a frustrating feeling that you've just lost something significant? By having a journal ready, you can capture those fleeting moments. You might jot down something as simple as, woke up with a feeling of profound sadness, saw a blue bird flying away. That little fragment is a clue, a symbol from your deeper self. Over time, you'll notice patterns and recurring symbols that are deeply personal to you. This practice of actively engaging with your dream life is the first step toward conscious spiritual exploration. It is a gentle way of letting your awareness know that you are ready to play in the non-physical realms. It's a message to your subconscious that you are now a willing co-creator, not just a passive passenger. So, a thought-provoking question for you. How would your perception of yourself and your life change if you truly believed that your dreams were a valuable source of wisdom and guidance? With our feet firmly planted in the foundational understanding of the dream state, we can now take a step forward into the first of our two main topics, lucid dreaming. So, what is it really? We've all had dreams where we're flying. Or maybe we're late for an exam we didn't study for. But in a lucid dream, there's a distinct moment of self-awareness that changes everything. It's that moment when you are in the middle of a dream and a little light bulb goes off in your mind. You suddenly realize, wait a minute, I'm dreaming. That's the key. That's the definition. It's consciousness waking up within the dream narrative. Unlike a regular dream, where you are a passive observer, swept along by the current of your subconscious, a lucid dream hands you the steering wheel. You become an active participant. This isn't just about gaining control, it's about gaining awareness. You might notice something bizarre, like your hands having 6 fingers or a clock on the wall that's not working properly, and in that moment, instead of just accepting it, you question it. You question it. This isn't right. This must be a dream. This small, critical observation is the gateway. The dream world doesn't dissolve. Instead, it solidifies, and you are no longer just an actor in the play, but the director and the playwright too. Your main actionable insight for this section is to understand that the essence of lucid dreaming is not about controlling the dream itself, but about cultivating self-awareness in all states of consciousness. The control is a byproduct of that awareness. To practice this, you can start a simple daily routine called reality checks. Throughout your day, ask yourself, am I dreaming? And then perform a simple test. A classic one is to look at your hands. Do they look normal? Another is to try to push your finger through your palm. In the waking world, it won't go through. In a dream, it almost certainly will. The point of this exercise is to make it a habit so that when you re-in a dream, your brain automatically performs the check. And one day it will work. You'll try to push your finger through your palm, and it will go right through, and you'll know. That moment is pure magic. A relatable example of this is when someone, after practicing reality checks for a while, finds themselves in a dream where they are trying to read a street sign. They can't make sense of the words "a common dream anomaly." Instead of just moving on, their trained mind triggers the question, am I dreaming? They perform their reality check. Their finger goes through their palm, and they instantly become lucid. The entire dreamscape changes, not because they are making it change, but because their perception of it has fundamentally shifted. They now have the power to fly, to talk to dream characters, or to simply observe with newfound clarity. So, I want you to reflect on this. How often in your daily life do you truly pause to question your reality? And how might that simple act change your experience of the world?
Now that we have a solid understanding of what lucid dreaming is, let's talk about the mechanics. It's not just a lucky accident. It's a skill you can cultivate, and like any skill, it requires a blend of intention, attention, and practice. The foundation, as we discussed, is simple awareness, but you can go deeper and be more intentional about your practice. The real mechanics of lucidity are about bridging the gap between your waking, analytical mind and your dreaming, symbolic mind. You're essentially teaching them to communicate with each other. There are two main approaches to triggering lucidity. The first is during the dream itself, DILD, or dream-initiated lucid dream, and the second is from a waking state, WILD, or wake-initiated lucid dream. The DILD approach is what we touched on in the last section with reality checks. It's about building a habit in your waking life that naturally translates into your dream state. The more you question reality throughout the day, the more likely you are to do so at night. It's a gentle, consistent approach that builds awareness over time. Think of it like a muscle. You're just doing small, consistent reps. Your main actionable insight here is to try the mnemonic induction of lucid dreams, or MILD technique. This is a powerful, intentional way to set yourself up for success. Before you go to sleep, as you are lying in bed, repeat a simple phrase to yourself like, I will be aware that I am dreaming. You can say it silently in your mind, like a mantra, over and over again. As you do this, you can also visualize a previous dream of yours and imagine yourself becoming lucid within it. You're planting a seed of intention deep into your subconscious mind, giving it a clear directive for the night. This isn't a magical incantation. It's a form of self-hypnosis and intentional programming. You are communicating your desires to the part of your mind that governs your dream life. A relatable scenario is someone who has been trying the mild technique for a few weeks without success. They might feel frustrated thinking it's not working. But then one night they are having a normal dream. Let's say they're walking through a familiar park, and suddenly, the phrase "I will be aware that I am dreaming" pops into their head, completely out of the blue. Their mind makes the connection. They don't even need a reality check because the thought itself triggers the lucidity. This shows you that the technique is working on a deeper level, subtly preparing your mind for that breakthrough moment. The frustration and perceived failure were just part of the process of laying the groundwork. The beautiful thing about this is that it teaches you the power of your own thoughts and intentions. It's an active practice of co-creation with your subconscious mind. It's a gentle reminder that you are not just a passenger on this journey. You are the one holding the map. So here's a thought-provoking question for you. If your mind has the power to manifest awareness within a dream, what other realities might you be able to consciously influence with a clear intention? As you begin to experience moments of lucidity, you'll quickly become familiar with the role of the ego. This is a critical point that distinguishes lucid dreaming from astral travel. In a lucid dream, your ego, that part of you that identifies with your personal history, your desires, and your sense of control, is very much present and in charge. The moment you become lucid, a common first reaction is to try and control everything. You might try to fly, to manifest objects, or to change the dream scenery to your liking. This isn't a bad thing. In fact, it's a natural and powerful part of the process. The ego's presence in a lucid dream is what makes it a deeply personal and often self-serving experience. You are the star of the show. You are using this newfound power to explore your own subconscious, to confront fears, to practice a difficult skill, or to simply have fun. You might manifest a beautiful beach to relax on, or a superhero outfit to fly around in. This is all part of the unique landscape of lucid dreaming. The experience is fundamentally contained within the boundaries of your own mind, a world you are actively shaping and manipulating. Your main, actionable insight for this section is to recognize that the ego's desire for control in a lucid dream is a powerful tool for self-discovery. Instead of trying to suppress it, you can work with it consciously. For example, if you find yourself wanting to fly, don't just do it for fun. Ask yourself, what does the feeling of flying represent for me in my waking life? Maybe it's a desire for freedom, or a need to rise above a difficult situation. By using your conscious dream control to explore these deeper questions, you turn the lucid dream into a therapeutic and introspective experience. A relatable scenario is someone who becomes lucid and immediately wants to find a specific person in their dream to have a conversation with. They might be dealing with unresolved issues with this person in their waking life. In the dream, they can ask them a direct question, and the dream character, being a projection of their own subconscious, might give them a powerful, unexpected answer. This isn't an interaction with an external being. It's a dialogue with a part of themselves. This is the ego, consciously directing the dream to seek closure or understanding. It's a beautiful example of using the dream world as a mirror for your waking self. This is the core of the difference we're beginning to explore. Lucid dreaming is a form of powerful introspection. It's a way of using your mind to heal and grow. It's a playground for your consciousness, but it's a playground built and contained within your own personal psyche. It's a deep dive inward, a conversation with yourself. So here's a thought-provoking question for you. If you could control one aspect of your next lucid dream, what would you do? And what might that desire reveal about your inner world?
As we've established, the ego's presence in a lucid dream makes it a personal playground. But let's expand on what that really means and why it's so incredibly valuable. Lucid dreaming is not just about flying or walking through walls. It's a powerful tool for personal development, a safe and private laboratory for your consciousness. Think of it as a place where you can rehearse for real-life events, confront your deepest fears in a non-threatening environment, or practice new skills with no real-world consequences. It is, in every sense of the word, a mirror and a practice ground for your waking life. This is the beauty of a self-contained experience. You can create a scenario in your dream to work on a specific problem you're facing. For example, if you have a fear of public speaking, you can consciously manifest an audience and give a speech. The nervousness will still feel real, but the environment is entirely your own creation, giving you a sense of control and safety. You can stumble, forget your lines, and no one will judge you. You're learning that the fear is just an emotion and you can move through it. The next day, when you face a similar situation in waking life, you'll have a subconscious blueprint for success. Your main actionable insight for this section is to use your lucid dreams for intentional problem solving and skill building. Before you go to sleep, set a clear intention. For example, if you're a painter struggling with a creative block, you can say to yourself, "Tonight, I will become lucid and paint a masterpiece." In the dream, you can manifest a studio with all the supplies you need and just let your creativity flow without the limitations of the physical world. You might discover new color combinations or techniques that you would have never thought of in your waking state. The dream becomes a collaborative partner in your creative process. A relatable example of this is a musician who is trying to perfect a difficult piece. In their waking life, their fingers might get tired or they might struggle with a certain chord progression. In a lucid dream, they can manifest their instrument and play the piece perfectly over and over again. The subconscious repetition in the dream world strengthens the neural pathways in the brain, making it easier to play the piece in the waking world. It's a fascinating connection between the non-physical and the physical, a testament to the mind's incredible power to learn and adapt. The ultimate purpose of lucid dreaming is not just for fun, though it can be. Its true power lies in its ability to give you a direct line to your subconscious mind and a tangible way to work with it. It's a tool for inner mastery and personal growth, a space where you can be both the student and the teacher, the creator and the experiencer. So, here's a thought-provoking question for you. What is one skill or problem in your waking life that you would like to tackle in your lucid dreams, and what might you discover about yourself in the process? We've spent a good amount of time exploring the world of lucid dreaming, understanding its nature and appreciating its value as a tool for personal growth. Now we're at a pivotal point in our journey. We're going to talk about the subtle but crucial shift that can turn a lucid dream into an out-of-body experience, or astral travel. This is the bridge, the point of transition where the focus of consciousness changes from an internally generated world to a non-physical reality that exists independently of your mind. It's the difference between exploring a house you've built yourself and stepping out of that house and into a vast, real-world city. In a lucid dream, you're the master of your domain. You can fly by simply willing it to happen. You can change a wall's color with a thought. But in astral travel, you're a visitor, not the creator. The transition often happens when you've become completely stable and aware in your lucid dream. Instead of trying to control it, you consciously choose to let go of control. This is the key. It's a surrender of the ego. Instead of manifesting a door in front of you, you can simply intend to step through the wall you're already next to, or you can choose to move your awareness out of the dreamscape entirely. The shift is from "I will make this happen" to "I am open to what is." Your main actionable insight for this section is to practice the art of surrender within your lucid dreams. When you become lucid, instead of immediately trying to fly or create something, try a different approach. Consciously make the choice to not control anything. Simply observe. You can even try a specific technique. Find a door in your lucid dream, and as you open it, set the intention to step into the astral plane. The feeling is completely different. The dream world will feel like it's dissolving, and you'll often feel a sense of floating or a tingling sensation as you separate from the dream body and move into a new, more expansive state of consciousness. This is the moment when the "I am dreaming" shifts to "I am here in another reality." A relatable scenario of this transition is someone who, while lucid, finds themselves in a beautiful garden. They could, in their ego-driven state, manifest a palace in the middle of the garden, but instead they have a flash of a new insight. They choose to sit down and simply observe the garden, noticing the intricate details of a flower or the way the light filters through the leaves. As they let go of control and simply exist in a state of pure awareness, they might feel a subtle shift. The garden might begin to dissolve, and they might feel themselves moving upward out of the scene, and into a new realm where the garden no longer exists, but the feeling of peace remains. They are now traveling on a new plane, an out-of-body experience. This shift is a profound act of spiritual maturity. It's moving from the personal, creative space of the lucid dream to the expansive, objective reality of the astral plane. It's an act of deep trust in the universe, an acknowledgement that there is something more to experience beyond the confines of your own mind. So, I want you to sit with this question. What would it feel like to completely surrender control, trusting that a greater reality exists beyond your own imagination? We've just crossed the bridge from the personal playground of lucid dreaming into a new, more expansive territory. So let's talk about what this new state is. Astral travel. At its core, astral travel is the conscious separation of your astral body from your physical body. It's a journey your consciousness takes on the astral plane, a non-physical dimension that exists parallel to our own. This isn't just a mental projection or a vivid hallucination. It's a very real movement of your awareness into a different vibrational reality. You can think of your body as a car and your consciousness as the driver. In a lucid dream, you the driver taking the car on a virtual reality test drive on a closed track of your own design. In astral travel, you're getting out of the car entirely and walking around a city that already exists. The term astral body refers to the subtle, energetic duplicate of your physical body. It's the vessel that your consciousness uses to navigate this non-physical realm. While it often looks like your physical body, it's not bound by the same laws. It can pass through walls, fly, and exist in an environment where time and space as we know them are fluid. Your main actionable insight here is to grasp the fundamental distinction. Lucid dreaming is an experience of the mind, while astral travel is an experience from the mind. The key difference is the source of the environment. In a lucid dream, the landscapes, people, and events are all generated from your subconscious. You are the architect, even if you are unaware of it. In astral travel, you are a visitor in a realm that has its own rules, landscapes, and inhabitants. You can't just wish a mountain into existence, nor can you wish a river away. You are an explorer, not a creator. A relatable scenario is to think of it like a video game. Lucid dreaming is like playing a game you've coded yourself. You know all the cheat codes, you can change the level design, and you can give yourself special powers. You have ultimate control because you are the programmer. Astral travel, on the other hand, is like playing a massively multiplayer online game that millions of other people are also playing. The world is already built. You can interact with the other players' entities and explore the vast world. But you can't just change the landscape or the rules of the game with your thoughts alone. You are a participant in a pre-existing reality, not the architect of it. This distinction is paramount to understanding the nature of both experiences. The moment you realize you are not creating but simply observing, you'll know you have transitioned from a lucid dream to an astral experience. It's a feeling of being in a space that feels more objective, more expansive, and more real than anything your mind could have conjured. So, I want you to sit with this question. If your consciousness is not bound to your physical body, what possibilities does that open up for you in terms of understanding reality and your place in it? So, UVA made the conscious decision to bridge the gap, and now you at the very threshold of an out-of-body experience. This is where the process can get truly fascinating, but also a little unnerving for the uninitiated. The physical and energetic sensations you might feel as you leave your body are incredibly distinct from anything you've experienced in a lucid dream. It's not a sudden jump cut or a seamless transition. It's a tangible process, and it's a good sign that you are on the right path. The most common sensation people report is a feeling of intense vibrations. It can start as a gentle tingling or buzzing sensation that builds in intensity, until it feels like your entire body is vibrating at a high frequency. Some describe it as a loud rushing sound, or a feeling of falling or spinning. It can feel a little strange, even scary at first, because your mind and body are not accustomed to this sensation. It's the energetic body beginning to separate from the physical body, and this friction creates these powerful vibrations. Your main actionable insight here is to recognize that these sensations are a positive sign, and that the most important thing you can do is to remain calm and relaxed. Your ego's natural instinct might be to panic and try to snap back into your body, which will immediately end the experience. Instead, your task is to simply observe the sensations without judgment or fear. Just let the vibrations wash over you. If you feel yourself spinning, let yourself spin. If you hear a rushing sound, just listen to it. The more you resist, the more difficult it becomes. The more you surrender, the more effortlessly you will float out of your body. Think of it as riding a wave. If you tense up, you'll fall. But if you relax and go with the flow, you'll glide to the shore. A relatable scenario is that moment when you're just on the edge of sleep. You might have a hypnic jerk, that sudden jolt that wakes you up. This is a mini version of what can happen during the separation. Your mind thinks it's falling asleep, but your body isn't fully ready. In the case of astral travel, you're consciously moving past that threshold. Someone might be lying in bed, feeling their arms and legs going numb, a sensation similar to when a limb falls asleep. But then they feel a powerful vibration that moves up their body, and they might even hear a loud, static-like noise. Their mind races. What is this? But because they've practiced remaining calm, they take a deep breath, relax their muscles, and with a gentle pop, they feel themselves floating effortlessly out of their body, and all the vibrations cease. They are now free, looking down at their physical form. This process is a profound testament to your inner power. It shows you that you can consciously navigate the subtle energy fields of your own body. It's not about forcing anything to happen, but about creating the right conditions for the natural process to unfold. So here, a thought-provoking question for you. If you could learn to overcome the initial fear of these physical sensations, what other areas of your life might you be able to move through with greater ease and courage? The moment you feel yourself float out of your body, you'll immediately become aware of a profound energetic connection that links you to your physical self. This is the concept of the astral body and the silver cord, and it's a critical safety mechanism that ensures your journey is always secure and you can return home. Your astral body, as we discussed, is the energetic replica of your physical form. It's what you use to navigate the non-physical planes, but it's not disconnected from your physical anchor. This connection is known as the silver cord. It's an energetic, flexible, and unbreakable tether that extends from your astral body and is attached to a point on your physical body, typically in the area of the head or solar plexus. Think of it as a divine umbilical cord, a lifeline that provides a continuous flow of life force energy and information between your two bodies. This cord is what keeps you safe. You can travel as far and wide as you wish on the astral plane, and this cord will stretch and maintain its integrity. It is what ensures that your astral body will always find its way back to its physical counterpart. Your main actionable insight for this section is to trust in the security provided by the silver cord. This knowledge can help you release any fears about not being able to get back to your body. When you're in the process of leaving your body, or when you're exploring the astral plane, you can consciously visualize and feel this silver cord. This act of visualization reinforces your connection and provides a sense of peace and security. Knowing that there's a constant, unbreakable link will allow you to explore with a sense of freedom and curiosity rather than a sense of anxiety. A relatable example of this is someone who is trying astral travel for the first time. As they begin to float out of their body, a wave of fear washes over them. What if I can't get back? What if something severs the connection? These are common natural fears, but then they remember the concept of the silver cord. They consciously feel for the energetic tether, and they can sense it. A pulsating line of light connecting their astral form back to their physical one. The fear instantly dissipates. They realize they are not an untethered balloon, but a kite with a strong, unbreakable string anchored to the safety of the ground. This knowledge allows them to soar higher and explore more freely, knowing they are always safe. The silver cord is a symbol of the profound wisdom and protection that is built into our very existence. It is a reminder that we are always connected, even when our consciousness is traveling far from our physical form. You are never truly alone or lost. So, I want you to sit with this question. What fears have you been holding on to that a simple act of trusting in your own energetic integrity might help you release? It's not a single monolithic realm. Think of it more as a complex, multi-layered reality that exists on a different frequency. The nature of the astral plane is not about physical distances, but about vibrational frequencies. The higher the frequency, the more expansive, beautiful, and spiritual the environment. The lower the frequency, the more dense, chaotic, and sometimes frightening the environment can be, are often reflections of the collective fears, anxieties, and negative thought forms of humanity. You might encounter shadowy figures or places that feel heavy and unwelcoming. This isn't a place you want to spend a lot of time, and with a clear intention, you can often bypass it entirely. The middle layers are more familiar. They often mirror the physical world, but with a different, more fluid quality. You might find yourself floating over a familiar city, but you'll notice the colors are more vibrant, and the energy of the people is palpable. The highest layers of the astral plane are realms of pure light, unconditional love, and profound spiritual knowledge. This is where you might encounter spiritual guides, angelic beings, or ascended masters. Your main actionable insight here is to understand that your state of mind and your intention are the ultimate. Navigational tools on the astral plane. Like attracts like. If you go into the experience with a mindset of fear, curiosity, or anger, you will likely be drawn to the corresponding lower or middle layers. If you go in with a mindset of love, curiosity, and a desire for spiritual wisdom, you will naturally ascend to the higher, more beautiful realms. Your intention is your compass. So, before you even begin, you must set a clear, positive intention, such as I wish to travel to a place of light and wisdom for the highest good. A relatable scenario is someone who has been feeling a lot of frustration and anger in their waking life and decides to try astral travel without a clear intention. Because of their emotional state, they might find themselves in a murky, dark part of the astral plane where they see other frustrated and lost souls. This can be a frightening experience, but then they remember to change their intention. They quietly say, I am a being of light. I choose to move to a higher place of peace. This shows you that you are not a victim of the astral plane. You are the master of your own frequency. The nature of the astral plane is a direct reflection of consciousness itself. It is not just an empty space, but a living, breathing realm that responds to your thoughts, emotions, and intentions. So, I want you to sit with this question. If your thoughts and emotions can instantly change your reality in another dimension, what does that tell you about their power in your waking life?
Now that you have a sense of the multi-layered nature of the astral plane, you might be wondering about the other beings you can encounter there. Unlike a lucid dream, where every character is a projection of your own mind, the astral plane is populated by a wide range of entities. These can be other astral travelers, spirit guides, deceased loved ones, or even more ethereal beings that have never had a physical body. The key to interacting with them is to do so with discernment and a clear sense of your own energy. You might encounter beings that are simply curious, and you might also encounter beings that are less evolved or have a lower vibrational energy. The most important tool you have is your own intuition. If a being approaches you and you get a feeling of unease or fear, you have the right to simply command them to leave. You are a being of light, and they cannot harm you without your permission. Remember that they exist on a plane that responds to your intention. A simple thought like, "I am surrounded by a protective shield of white light," is all you need to ensure your safety. Your main actionable insight for this section is to approach all interactions on the astral plane from a place of love and discernment, not fear. Your primary goal is to seek out beings of a higher vibration, and you can do this by setting a clear intention before you even begin your journey. You might say, "I wish to meet with my spirit guides for wisdom and guidance." By setting this intention, you are creating an energetic beacon that will attract the kind of entities you want to connect with. When you do encounter a being, you can simply ask, "Are you of the light?" A positive, benevolent entity will have no problem answering this question, and you will feel a sense of peace and clarity in their presence. A relatable scenario of a positive interaction is someone who is astral traveling and feels a powerful pull towards a beautiful, ancient-looking library. As they enter, a radiant human-like figure greets them. This being radiates a profound sense of calm and wisdom. Instead of fear, the traveler feels an immediate sense of recognition and trust. They can then ask questions, and the being might not answer in words, but with a transmission of pure knowledge and feeling. They might come back from the experience with a deep understanding of a complex personal problem, a knowing that they received from a source of pure light and wisdom. This is the difference between a lucid dream character, which is you, and a benevolent astral entity, which is a conscious being with its own unique purpose. The astral plane is not a place to be feared, but a place to be respected. It's an opportunity to learn from other forms of consciousness and to deepen your own spiritual understanding. The universe is teeming with life, and you are not separate from it. So, here's a thought-provoking question for you. How might your perception of a difficult person or situation in your waking life change if you viewed them not as a threat, but as a being with their own unique vibrational frequency and journey? We've spent a lot of time defining the nature of astral travel, but let's now circle back to a core difference we touched on earlier, the critical role of intent. In a lucid dream, intent is about personal control and manifestation. You want to fly, so you think, "I will fly," and it happens. You want to see a certain person, and they appear. The purpose is often about self-exploration, problem-solving, or wish fulfillment. It is a powerful practice of the mind, but it is ultimately self-contained. In astral travel, the role of intent is completely different. It's not about commanding a world to bend to your will. Instead, intent is your spiritual compass, your primary driver. It's what allows you to bypass the lower planes and ascend to higher, more purposeful realms. Your intention is not a tool of control, but a statement of spiritual purpose. You are not saying, "I will create this," but rather, "I intend to learn," or "I intend to offer healing," or "I intend to connect with a specific spiritual guide." It's an act of deep humility and respect for a pre-existing reality. Your main actionable insight here is to always set a clear altruistic intention before you even begin your astral journey. This isn't just a suggestion. It is the most important rule of safe and productive astral travel. You might say to yourself, "I intend to use this journey for my highest good and for the highest good of all beings." This simple act of putting a positive, loving intention into the universe will automatically align you with higher vibrational energies and keep you safe from lower ones. It's a fundamental spiritual principle. What you send out comes back to you. A relatable scenario is someone who has mastered lucid dreaming and decides to try to astral travel. They go in with the same mindset of control and manifestation they use in their dreams. They try to fly to a different planet by simply willing it to happen, but they get stuck in their own familiar neighborhood, only a few feet from their body. The experience feels dense and frustrating. Then they remember the lesson on intent. They stop trying to force the journey and instead sit quietly and say, "I intend to receive a spiritual message that I am meant to hear." The moment they shift their intention from one of control to one of receptivity, they might feel a surge of energy and find themselves instantly transported to a beautiful, light-filled space where a guide is waiting for them. The journey wasn't about where they wanted to go, but about what they were open to receiving. This difference highlights the core nature of each practice. Lucid dreaming is about mind mastery. Astral travel is about spiritual service and discovery. One is a personal journey, the other is an expansive, universal one. So I want you to sit with this question. What is one thing you would like to know or learn for the highest good of all? And how might that selfless intention change the way you approach your daily life?
Building on the idea of intent, let's frame astral travel in its proper light, as a spiritual pilgrimage. This is a crucial perspective shift from the way we often view these experiences. In the modern world, we tend to categorize things as for fun or for work, and lucid dreaming often falls into the for fun category. But astral travel is not a form of entertainment. It is a profound, often life-altering spiritual practice, a pilgrimage of consciousness to the sacred truths that exist beyond the physical. A pilgrimage is a journey to a sacred place with a spiritual purpose. You don't take a pilgrimage to simply enjoy the scenery or to prove you can do it. You do it to seek wisdom, to find healing, or to offer service. Astral travel is the same. The purpose is not to say you've visited other planets or to tell your friends you met a ghost. The true purpose is to bring back wisdom, to understand your place in the universe, and to deepen your connection to the divine. You might travel to a place of universal knowledge to receive a specific insight, or you might go to a place of healing to send love and light to a loved one who is in need. Your main actionable insight here is to approach every astral journey with the reverence and humility of a pilgrim. Before you begin, take a few moments to quiet your mind and state your spiritual purpose. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? What is my highest intention? This simple act of grounding your journey in a spiritual purpose will change the entire nature of the experience. It will move it from the realm of a personal adventure to a sacred rite. You will attract different energies, different guides, and receive more profound insights. A relatable scenario of this is someone who has been feeling lost and disconnected from their spiritual path. They decide to try astral travel, not out of curiosity, but out of a deep yearning for guidance. They set an intention. I wish to travel to a sacred space to receive guidance for my life's purpose. As they separate from their body, they feel a gentle magnetic pull. They find themselves in what looks like a beautiful, silent temple, not a place they could have possibly imagined. Inside, they are not met with grand revelations, but with a simple feeling of profound peace. They don't receive a clear verbal answer, but they return from the journey feeling centered, calm, and with a quiet confidence that they are exactly where they need to be. The journey gave them not an answer but a feeling, which is often a deeper form of wisdom. This perspective is what truly separates astral travel from other non-physical experiences. It's an acknowledgement that there is more to the universe than our own minds can create, and a willingness to be a humble student on a vast and ancient path. So, I want you to sit with this question. What spiritual pilgrimage, either physical or non-physical, would your soul want to take if it were completely free to do so? We've been moving forward, but it's important to pause and create a clear distinction between the purpose of these two practices. This isn't just a matter of semantics. It's the core difference that shapes the entire experience. Lucid dreaming is about personal mastery, while astral travel is about spiritual exploration and service. This is the difference between an individual and a universal focus. In lucid dreaming, you are the master. You are working on your own psyche, and the benefits are deeply personal. You might be mastering a skill, overcoming a fear, or tapping into your own creativity. The intention is inward, and the goal is to become a more empowered, integrated person in your waking life. It's a journey of self-discovery and self-creation. The purpose is to heal yourself, to understand yourself, and to empower yourself. It is a powerful form of therapy and self-improvement, using your subconscious as a tool. Astral travel, on the other hand, is not primarily about you. It's about a spiritual exploration of the cosmos and the beings within it. The purpose is to connect with other forms of consciousness, to receive universal wisdom, or to offer healing to the collective. You are not a creator, you are a student and a traveler. You are a part of a much larger, more expansive reality. This practice is about transcending the personal and connecting with the universal. You might find yourself in a celestial library, not to find answers for your own life, but to receive wisdom that you can bring back and share with others. You might travel to a place of universal healing to send a wave of love and light to a world in need. The purpose is outward and is driven by a desire for connection and service. Your main actionable insight for this section is to choose your practice based on your current need and intention. If you are feeling stuck in your life, if you need to work through a personal trauma, or if you want to tap into your creativity, lucid dreaming is a powerful and safe path for you. If you are feeling a deep spiritual calling, a desire to connect with other realms, or a need for a profound sense of purpose, astral travel may be the path you are called to explore. By understanding the core purpose of each, you can make a conscious choice about which one to dedicate your energy to. A relatable example is someone who is a writer. They might use lucid dreaming to overcome writer's block. They go into a dream, sit at a desk, and let the words flow onto the page, finding inspiration in their own subconscious. This is a personal, self-serving goal. Later, that same person might feel called to use astral travel to seek wisdom for their writing, to connect with the archetypal energy of a storyteller, or to travel to a higher plane to receive information about a universal truth they feel compelled to share with the world. This is not about their personal creative block, but about serving a greater purpose with their writing. It's the same person, but the intention and the purpose behind their journey are completely different. This distinction is what allows you to use these powerful tools with integrity and wisdom. You are no longer just exploring, you are walking a specific path with a clear destination in mind. So, I want you to sit with this question. What is your primary intention right now? Is it to master your inner world, or to connect with the greater cosmos? The difference in purpose we just discussed leads us to a fascinating distinction in the subjective experience itself. This is about the core feeling of the journey. In a lucid dream, the feeling is one of creating. In astral travel, the feeling is one of knowing. This is the most profound and subtle difference, and it's one you'll feel deep in your bones when you experience both. In a lucid dream, your consciousness is actively engaged in building the world around you. Even if you're not consciously trying to, your subconscious is projecting the landscape, the characters, and the story. You feel like a director on a movie set. The air, the objects, the sounds, they all feel like they are coming from within you. You are the source. You have a sense of mastery of being able to will things into being. The experience is one of powerful creative imagination. It's exhilarating and empowering. In astral travel, the feeling is one of knowing that the world you are in already exists. You are not creating it. You are simply perceiving it with a different sense. The air feels different. The light feels different. The presence of other beings feels objective and external to you. You might see a beautiful, ethereal landscape, and you have a deep, intuitive sense that it's a real place on another plane, not a figment of your imagination. You might encounter a being, and you know without a doubt that they are a separate, conscious entity. The feeling is one of profound discovery, not of creation. It's a humbling and expansive experience. Your main actionable insight here is to pay close attention to the subjective feeling of your journey. This feeling is the ultimate litmus test for knowing which realm you are in. When you become lucid, take a moment to pause. Ask yourself, do I feel like I'm making this up, or do I feel like I'm exploring something that is already here? This simple act of self-reflection will sharpen your ability to discern between the two states. It's not about making a judgment call, but about becoming a keen observer of your own consciousness. A relatable scenario is a person who has become lucid and wants to see their childhood home. In their lucid dream, they picture the house, and it appears they feel a powerful sense of creative mastery. They can go inside and see rooms they've never seen before, rooms that their mind has created. Now, that same person is astral traveling, and they have an intention to visit their childhood home. They don't create it. They feel themselves being drawn to it. When they get there, they might see it from a different perspective, floating above it, or they might see the energetic imprints of past emotions on the walls. They feel a sense of objective observation. They are not creating the experience. They are simply perceiving it from a different vantage point. The knowing is that the house is real, and the energetic layers they are seeing are also real. This difference is what separates a personal journey of the mind from an expansive journey of the soul. One is about what you can create. The other is about what is already waiting to be discovered. So, I want you to sit with this question. If you could learn to trust what you already know, rather than always trying to create something new, what might you discover about the universe? That feeling of knowing versus creating is rooted in a difference of energetic signature, which is a key concept that distinguishes lucid dreaming and astral travel. Everything in the universe has a unique energetic vibration, and these two states of consciousness are no exception. It's an energy that is fundamentally tied to the frequency of your own mind. It feels a bit like a firecracker. It's bright, intense, and often has an ego-driven quality. This is why you can instantly manifest things or change a scene with a simple thought. You are creating from the very energy of your own being. The experience is brilliant and contained, a powerful expression of your own creative force. Astral travel, on the other hand, has a more expansive, neutral energy. It feels more like the vast ocean. It is immense, quiet, and timeless. The energy is not coming from you. You are simply moving within it. It feels less like creation and more like a sense of pure awareness. The feeling is one of profound peace and an absence of ego. The energy is more subtle, more fluid, and it often has a deep sense of stillness, even when you are traveling at a rapid pace. This is why you can move through walls or travel to distant planets with a simple intention, because you are not creating the path. Your main actionable insight for this section is to become more attuned to the subtle, energetic feelings of each experience. When you are lucid, pay attention to the feeling of power and creative control. You'll feel a sense of passive observation, of simply being. Just noticing these feelings without judgment will make you a more skilled and discerning traveler. It's like the difference between holding a vibrant, buzzing electrical wire and feeling the gentle hum of a power grid. Both are energy, but their nature is completely different. A relatable scenario of this energetic difference is an artist who has been lucid dreaming for years, using the experience to create beautiful paintings. They feel the powerful creative energy of their own mind flowing through them as they manifest colors and images. One night, they have an out-of-body experience for the first time. They float out of their body and find themselves in a vast, silent, star-filled space. There is no impulse to create anything. The experience is one of pure awe. They are simply a silent observer of an infinite, serene canvas. The feeling is not of creation, but of profound connection to something much bigger than themselves. This attunement to energy is your most powerful tool. It goes beyond the visual and the physical and connects you to the true nature of reality. It's a reminder that everything is energy, and that includes you. So, I want you to sit with this question. How can you start to pay attention to the energetic signature of your own emotions and thoughts in your waking life? As we've explored these deep and powerful states of consciousness, it's natural that you might encounter feelings of fear and anxiety. This is a topic that needs to be addressed with empathy and honesty, because navigating these emotions is a crucial part of the journey. When you are venturing into the unknown, whether it's the boundless landscape of your own mind or the vastness of the astral plane, your ego's instinct is to protect you by creating fear. It's the little voice that says, "This is too weird," or "What if I can't get back?" These fears are not a sign of weakness. They are a sign of a natural, healthy system trying to make sense of something new. The most common fears are the fear of not returning to your body, the fear of encountering negative entities, or simply the fear of the unknown. Remember what we talked about with the silver cord? That's your first line of defense. You can travel across the universe and it will stretch without breaking, pulling you back to your body safely and automatically when the journey is complete. As for negative entities, remember that your intention and your state of mind are your greatest protection. Like attracts like. You are in control of your energy, always. When a fearful thought arises, don't try to push it away. Instead, acknowledge it with a gentle, "Hello, fear, I see you." Then ask yourself, what is the specific belief behind this fear? Is it a fear of the unknown? A fear of losing control? By shining the light of awareness on your fear, you strip it of its power. You can then consciously replace it with a positive, empowering thought. For example, if you feel a surge of panic, you can calmly say, "I am safe and protected. My journey is for my highest good." This simple act of reframing is an incredibly powerful tool. A relatable scenario of this is a person who is trying to astral project and feels the intense vibrations we discussed earlier. A wave of panic starts to rise. Instead of fighting it, they simply breathe and say to themselves, "These vibrations are a sign that I'm on the right track. I am safe." By not resisting the fear, they allow the feeling to pass through them, and the vibrations often feel less jarring and more like a gentle rocking sensation. They've shifted their perception, not the reality of the vibrations. Instead of running, you can stand your ground and simply command it to leave in the name of light and love. You'll find that it will almost always dissipate instantly because it has no power over a high vibrational conscious being. It's about mastering your own inner landscape, including your fears. Every time you consciously choose courage over fear, you are not just having an experience, you are growing as a spiritual being. So, I want you to sit with this question. What is one small step you can take today to face a minor fear with curiosity and compassion? Navigating fear is a big step, but the journey doesn't end when you return to your body. One of the most important and often overlooked parts of this process is integrating the experiences. You see, it's not enough to simply have these profound moments of consciousness expansion. The true power lies in how you bring the insights and wisdom you gained from both lucid dreaming and astral travel back into your waking life. If you don't, the experience can feel like a fleeting memory, a fascinating but ultimately disconnected event. Integration is what turns a one-time spiritual trip into a life-altering transformation. Integration is about creating a bridge between the non-physical realms and your daily reality. You do this by consciously connecting the lessons learned to your actions and thoughts. For example, you might have a lucid dream where you confront a long-held fear of failure. In the dream, you discover that the fear was just a mental construct. When you wake up, instead of just thinking, "That was a cool dream," you can take that insight and consciously apply it to your day. You might decide to finally start that creative project you've been putting off, knowing that the fear of failure is not a real barrier. Your main actionable insight here is to create a simple post-journey ritual. Immediately after you wake up from a significant lucid dream or an astral journey, don't rush to get out of bed. Instead, take a few moments to lie still with your eyes closed and recall the experience. Write down everything you can remember in your journal. Then, ask yourself, what was the core message or feeling of this experience? How can I apply this to my life today? This act of conscious reflection and intention setting solidifies the experience in your mind and makes the lessons tangible. It's the difference between hearing a great lecture and actually taking notes and applying the knowledge. A relatable scenario is someone who has an astral journey to what feels like a celestial library, a place of pure knowledge. They don't receive a specific message but feel a profound sense of interconnectedness, an intuitive understanding that all life is one. When they wake up, instead of dismissing it as just a dream, they intentionally carry that feeling with them. They might be in traffic, feeling frustrated, and then they remember the feeling from the journey. They think, this other driver is also a part of the vast tapestry of life. That simple thought changes their emotional response. They feel a wave of compassion instead of anger. This is integration in action. The wisdom isn't just an abstract concept. It becomes a lens through which they view their entire world. The journey inward and outward is ultimately for the purpose of a more authentic, joyful, and purposeful life here on Earth. These practices are not about escaping reality, but about enriching it. So, I want you to sit with this question. What is one insight from a dream or a profound moment of quiet reflection that you could consciously integrate into your day-to-day? Now we need to talk about the flip side of the coin, the potential pitfalls and dangers of misunderstanding these practices. This is not meant to scare you, but to empower you with awareness. Knowledge is your greatest protection. A key danger is confusing lucid dreaming with astral travel, a mistake that can lead to frustration or, in rare cases, a sense of being lost or overwhelmed. When you are in a lucid dream, you have total control. You are the master of your reality. If you believe you are astral traveling and try to apply that same level of control, you will be met with resistance from a pre-existing reality, and it can feel like a failure. Conversely, if you are in the astral realm and believe you are in a dream, you might try to create things or command beings, which can lead to confusion or attracting lower vibrational energies that respond to that kind of ego-driven command. The misunderstanding can lead to a sense of spiritual arrogance. A person who becomes lucid and can fly might start to believe they are spiritually advanced or special. This is the ego taking over and can prevent them from doing the real inner work that lucid dreaming is meant for. A person who has a powerful astral experience might come back and feel they are above others or have access to secrets that make them better. This is not a path of true spiritual growth. The purpose of these journeys is humility and service, not to inflate the ego. Your main actionable insight here is to always approach both practices with a beginner's mind and a sense of humility. Before you begin, you can say to yourself, I am a student on this path. I am here to learn and to grow. This simple intention will keep your ego in check and open you up to the true purpose of the journey. If you ever find yourself feeling a sense of spiritual superiority or frustration, you can pause, take a deep breath, and remember that you are here to serve and to learn, not to command and to control. A relatable scenario of this danger is a young, excited spiritual seeker who reads about astral travel and immediately tries it without understanding the difference. They believe they are astral traveling and try to fly across the city, just like they would in a lucid dream. When it doesn't work, they become frustrated and feel like a failure, and they give up on the practice entirely. They don't realize that they were in a lucid dream and were trying to apply the rules of a different game. This misunderstanding led to unnecessary frustration and a missed opportunity for a powerful experience. Another person who has an out-of-body experience comes back and tells their friends they saw a spirit and that their friends should believe in them now. Their desire for validation from their ego overshadows the profound spiritual lesson they could have received from the experience. The path of the mystic is a path of continuous learning and humility. The universe is too vast and complex to ever be fully understood by the limited human mind. The real danger is not in the other realms, but in the realm of your own ego. So, I want you to sit with this question. Where in your life are you so focused on the outcome that you are missing the profound lessons in the process? Building on the idea of humility and awareness, let's get practical. The most powerful way to protect yourself and ensure a positive experience in either lucid dreaming or astral travel is by setting a clear, positive intention. This is your spiritual GPS, a non-negotiable step that should be done before every single journey. Your intention is what tells your subconscious mind and the universe what you are here to do. It helps you navigate past the lower vibrational energies and move directly to the planes of light and wisdom. This is the difference between aimlessly wandering and a purposeful, guided journey. For lucid dreaming, your intention can be specific and personal. For example, I intend to become lucid to practice a difficult conversation, or I intend to become lucid to access a new creative idea. The intention here is a clear command to your own mind. It's an act of conscious self-direction, focusing the vast power of your subconscious on a specific, beneficial task. It's an act of self-love and self-mastery. For astral travel, your intention should be selfless and expansive. It should be less about what you can get and more about what you can learn or what you can offer. For example, I intend to travel to a place of universal healing to send light to a loved one. Or, I intend to connect with my highest self for guidance on my spiritual path. The intention here is a statement of your spiritual purpose. It is a request to be in service to something greater than yourself. This is how you ensure that your journey is always for your highest good and the highest good of all. Your main actionable insight here is to create a simple, repeatable intention-setting practice. Before you go to sleep, sit quietly for a moment. Take a few deep breaths and consciously release the stresses of the day. Then, in your mind or out loud, state your intention with clarity and conviction. You can even write it down on a piece of paper and place it under your pillow. This simple ritual tells your entire being, your physical, mental, and spiritual bodies that you are ready and open for a specific, positive experience. A relatable scenario of this is someone who has been having repetitive, stressful nightmares. They are not lucid in them, and they wake up feeling exhausted. They decide to try setting an intention. Before they go to sleep, they say, I intend to have a peaceful, restful night of dreaming where I am safe and protected. That night, they don't have a lucid dream or an astral journey, but they also don't have the nightmare. They wake up feeling rested and calm. Their simple intention completely changed the quality of their sleep. This shows you that even a small, positive intention can have a powerful impact on your subconscious and your overall well-being. The universe responds to your intention. By setting it consciously, you are taking an active role in co-creating your reality, both within and outside of your dreams. So, I want you to sit with this question. What is one specific positive intention you would like to set for your own consciousness tonight? We've talked about setting intentions, and that's the compass for your journey. But every good journey, especially one into non-physical realms, requires an anchor. This is where a strong grounding practice becomes absolutely essential. You see, when you are expanding your consciousness and exploring other dimensions, you are essentially a kite soaring in the sky. If you don't have a strong, consistent anchor to the earth and your physical body, you can feel scattered, uncentered, or even a little disconnected from your daily life. Grounding is what brings all that vast, expansive energy back down into your physical form, allowing you to integrate the experience in a stable, healthy way. A lack of grounding is one of the main reasons people who engage in spiritual practices can feel spacey, unfocused, or unable to function in the real world. It's like having 100 browser tabs open in your mind. You can't focus on any one thing because your energy is scattered in a million different directions. Grounding closes those tabs and brings your energy back to a single point. Your physical body, it's the simple, conscious act of connecting with the Earth's energy and with your own physical presence. Your main actionable insight here is to incorporate a simple, daily grounding ritual. It doesn't have to be complicated. You can simply take a few moments to stand barefoot on the grass or the soil, feeling the earth beneath your feet. Visualize roots growing from the soles of your feet, deep into the center of the earth. You can also visualize a cord of light connecting your root chakra at the base of your spine to the core of the planet. Another powerful grounding technique is simply to pay attention to your physical body. Feel the weight of your feet on the floor. Pay attention to the feeling of your clothes on your skin. Savor the taste of your food. These are all simple, powerful ways to bring your awareness back into the present moment and back into your physical form. A relatable scenario is someone who has a powerful lucid dream or an astral experience and wakes up feeling lightheaded and disoriented. They might feel like they are still floating and find it difficult to concentrate on a task at work. But then they remember their grounding practice. They take a moment to go outside, put their bare feet on the ground, and consciously breathe in the energy of the earth. Within a few moments, they feel their energy settle, the scattered feeling dissipates, and they are able to return to their work with a renewed sense of focus and clarity. This shows you that grounding is not just a spiritual buzzword. It is a practical, powerful tool for energetic hygiene. Remember that you are a spiritual being having a human experience. Your physical body is a sacred vessel, and your connection to the earth is what makes this experience possible. Grounding is the daily act of honoring that connection. So, I want you to sit with this question. What is one small physical activity you can add to your routine to feel more connected to your body and the earth? We've spent a lot of time talking about the non-physical, but it's absolutely crucial that we circle back to the sacred role of the physical body. Your body is not a hindrance to your spiritual journey. It is the very vessel that makes it possible. Think of it as your anchor, your home base, and your most powerful tool for navigating the earth plane. Without a healthy, well-cared-for physical body, these spiritual practices can become more difficult and less stable. Your body is the temple for your soul, and it deserves your love, attention, and respect. The physical body is what allows you to ground the vast, expansive energy of your non-physical experiences. It is the conduit through which you can integrate the wisdom you gain in other realms into tangible, real-world action. Remember how we talked about bringing back insights from a journey and applying them to your daily life? That's your body doing the work. Your body is what allows you to express your newfound love and compassion through a kind word, a gentle touch, or an act of service. It is the physical manifestation of your spiritual truth. Your main actionable insight here is to consciously treat your body with love and reverence as an integral part of your spiritual practice. This isn't about dieting or strict exercise routines. It's about listening to your body's wisdom. It's about eating nourishing foods that make you feel good, not just for a moment, but deep in your cells. It's about moving your body in a way that feels joyful and alive, whether that's through dancing, yoga, or a simple walk in nature. It's about getting enough rest so that your mind and spirit have time to repair and rejuvenate. When you take care of your body, you are sending a clear message to the universe that you value your physical experience and are ready to be a more effective vessel for your spiritual work. A relatable scenario is someone who is a diligent meditator and has profound spiritual experiences, but they neglect their physical health. They eat processed foods, don't exercise, and are constantly sleep deprived. As a result, they might feel a disconnect between their spiritual experiences and their daily reality. They might feel tired, foggy, and unable to fully integrate the wisdom they are receiving. But then, they decide to make a change. They start a simple walking routine and choose to eat more whole foods. Within a few weeks, they find that their meditations are even deeper and more powerful, and the insights they receive are more easily integrated into their daily life. Their mind is clearer, their energy is more stable, and they feel a greater sense of connection. This shows that the body and spirit are not separate but are two sides of the same sacred coin. Your body is not a cage for your soul. It is a sacred tool for your spiritual evolution. The journey is not about escaping it, but about fully inhabiting it. So, I want you to sit with this question. What is one small, loving action you can take for your physical body today as an act of spiritual reverence? We have journeyed from the basics of the dream state to the expansive frontiers of astral travel, distinguishing one from the other. But what is the ultimate purpose of it all? It's not about escaping reality, it's about the journey back to self. Both lucid dreaming and astral travel are not endpoints in themselves, but are powerful tools for self-discovery and spiritual homecoming. The more you explore the vastness of the universe, the more you come to realize that the grandest adventure is the one that leads you back to the truth of who you are. The paradox is that the more you go out, the deeper you can go in. Lucid dreaming teaches you about the incredible power of your own mind. It shows you that you are not a victim of your subconscious fears or anxieties, but a conscious co-creator of your reality. It helps you see that you have the power to change your inner narrative, which in turn changes your outer experience. It's a journey of personal empowerment, teaching you that the seeds of change are planted in the garden of your own mind. It's a journey back to the powerful, creative part of yourself that you may have forgotten in the busyness of daily life. Astral travel teaches you about your place in the universe. It shows you that you are a part of a vast, interconnected tapestry of life, not a separate, isolated being. It helps you transcend the ego's limited perspective and connect with a deeper, more profound sense of purpose. It's a journey of cosmic connection, teaching you that you are a citizen of the universe, not just a single planet. It's a journey back to the eternal, spiritual part of yourself that existed before your physical form. Your main actionable insight here is to see every one of these experiences, every dream, every quiet moment of reflection, and every journey outside of the body as a step on the path back to your true self. The goal is not to have an experience for the sake of an experience, but to bring the wisdom back with you and integrate it into your life. You can do this by asking yourself after every significant event, what did this show me about myself? Or what part of myself did I discover on this journey? This simple act of reflection turns every event into a tool for self-realization. A relatable scenario is someone who has been searching for their life's purpose for years, reading books and attending workshops. They finally have a powerful astral experience where they feel a profound connection to all living things. When they return, they realize that their purpose is not a single career or a grand mission, but is simply to embody that feeling of connection in their daily life. They start by being kinder to strangers, volunteering at an animal shelter, and spending more time in nature. The journey was untamed about finding a new path, but about realizing that the path they were already on was filled with meaning. They just needed a different perspective to see it. The journey outward brought them back to their heart, which is the true home of the self. The ultimate destination is not a new place, but a new state of being. The journey is not about escaping reality, but about returning to it with a deeper sense of who you are. So, I want you to sit with this question. What if the profound wisdom you are searching for is not out there, but is waiting to be rediscovered within you? We've reached the final leg of our journey together, and as we look back, it's clear that the lines between these practices, while distinct, are not a wall, but a fluid and permeable boundary. The final holistic perspective is to see both lucid dreaming and astral travel not as separate, competitive paths, but as complementary tools on a single, beautiful journey of spiritual awakening. They are two different sides of the same coin, two different lenses for viewing the same profound reality. The nature of your own consciousness. Lucid dreaming is the master key to your inner world, a tool for deep psychological and creative exploration. It helps you understand and heal the parts of yourself that are hidden in your subconscious. It is a powerful way to work with your own mind and become a conscious co-creator of your reality. It's the path of personal mastery and creative expression. Astral travel is the master key to the universe outside of your own mind. It is a tool for spiritual exploration and cosmic connection. It helps you understand your place in a grand, interconnected reality and connect with other beings in higher planes of existence. It's the path of universal knowledge and spiritual service. Your main actionable insight here is to embrace both paths with equal reverence. You can choose to practice lucid dreaming one night and set an intention for an astral journey the next, or you can simply trust your intuition to guide you to the practice that feels right for you in the moment. You might find that the skills you cultivate in one realm, like setting a clear intention, will naturally benefit you in the other. For example, your ability to remain calm in a lucid dream will serve you well when you encounter a new sensation in the astral realm. See them not as a competition, but as a conversation, where the wisdom from one journey informs and enriches the next. They are both about expanding your awareness beyond the confines of your physical body and your ego. A relatable scenario is an experienced spiritual seeker who has worked for years with astral travel, exploring vast, distant realms. They feel a sense of cosmic connection and profound wisdom, but they find that they still get anxious in social situations in their daily life. They decide to try lucid dreaming to work on this specific issue. In their lucid dream, they can safely practice social interactions, gaining confidence in a private, supportive environment. The journey outward gave them wisdom, but the journey inward gave them the tools to embody that wisdom in their waking life. The two paths are in service to each other, a beautiful and holistic approach to spiritual growth. The ultimate goal of both practices is not to live in another world, but to bring the magic, the wisdom, and the love of those worlds back into this one. The journey is not about finding a new home, but about realizing that your true home is everywhere, in every moment, and in every breath. That's all for today. Keep trusting your intuition and your inner knowing. Remember that the universe is not a place you are a part of, but a place that is a part of you. The journey to the stars is a journey to your heart. May your journey be light, and I'll see you in the next one.